The weekend of February 27th, 2026. We got a we got a movie here that has been brought to us. It's about a strong, powerful, emboldened woman who is protecting her kid from her past. A killer has resurfaced and is coming for her and her own, and it's up to her and her new husband to protect their child from evil. Of course, I'm talking about Scream 7, but I'm not. I'm talking about Amazon's The Bluff, the other movie this weekend that instead of having Ghostface has pirates. I'm John Stark from ActTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and this is, in fact, The Bluff. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, Carl Urban, Tamara Morrison star here in a pirate movie because we're going to keep trying really hard to make pirate movies. It's funny how, like, everyone loves pirates, but we can't seem to make great pirate movies. Isn't that weird? Like, there should be, like, a whole genre full of, like, amazing pirate movies. It shouldn't just be, like, oh, Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, there should be an infinite amount of pirate movies that worked really well. And it feels like that's not really the case, especially if you take all the Peter Pan iterations out of there and you're not allowed to mention Captain Hook. Whoa, it immediately, like, dramatically reduces the amount of pirate movies. Um, you get a sort of a smart, more mature show like Black Sails thrown in there, and then you go, wow, that was a TV show. So why don't pirate movies work on a more regular basis? Why do they work better in TV form? Why does something like One Piece work better? Perhaps because as The Bluff sort of explores, there's a lot to get into here in terms of period, in terms of lore, in terms of characters, especially when you're trying to sort of create an original story with original pirates. It becomes a little convoluted. So in this, everybody who loves girl boss movies will love the fact that our lead is Bloody Mary. That's her pirate name, by the way. I don't think if you say her name 3 times, she's going to appear. Priyanka Chopra Jonas appears to you. Sup, girl? um, she plays this role, and former pirate who's now hiding with her husband and kid, and I is it her, like, sister-in-law or something? I don't know. There's, like, another family member. There's another woman. There's this, like, colony that they live in. Everybody's peaceful until they're not. Until the pirates ride ashore, and led by the Carl Urban character, whose name I honestly forgot. I don't know, Cooper or something. Who cares? I wish it was something cool. Like, if it had been something cool, I would remember it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like, I'm Long John Killbeard. That doesn't sound cool, but it would have sounded cooler than his basic ass name. I mean, she's Bloody Mary. Like, that's some cool shit. Like, you walk up and you're like, oh shit, did you know Bloody Mary was here? Oh, what? Bloody Mary? Are you kidding me? Oh man. Oh, damn. No. I don't know nothing about that, but I definitely don't want to meet somebody named Bloody Mary. So, it's a lot of fighting. There's some kidnapping. She has to hide the kid. She has to beat Carl Urban's massive band of misfit screw-ups, and try to save her family, and hopefully also the other random community full of, non-pirate people from the pirates. It's unabashedly brutal and violent. I heard Amazon screen this for people, and I'm like, cool, not for me, but that's okay, because I haven't liked anything Amazon's done in a while since Fallout. Like, really, I was thinking this the other day, because I just took the opportunity to catch up on Malice, which was like, it's okay. There's something about the way that they're producing their shows where they're either revealing too much in the front and then, like, hoping, like, that, like, there's an odd amount, and it doesn't always pan out. I'll admit I didn't like the first episode of The Girlfriend, but by the end of it, I was like, yes. But that was also a shorter show. It required less attention from me. So a lot of their shows, their movies haven't been great. I didn't like oh God, the Kelly Rowland movie. I've even forgotten what they're called. Relationship Goals was all right. It could have been better. I mean, yes, definitely could have been better. The thing with the brothers with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista, that wasn't great. Definitely had a couple movies. There was one in there I didn't even bother to review. Love Me, Love Me. Like, have you seen that? It's from the director of Cruel Intentions. I didn't even bother. So here I am with The Bluff because there's not a lot of content right now. And I guess Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Carl Urban are worth mentioning. And Love Me had no major cast members in it that were worth mentioning, unless I guess they're TikTok stars or something. I don't know. So, The Bluff made me want to watch Cutthroat Island, which is either a hot take or a hard take. I don't know, but the whole movie, I was like, man, I could go for some Cutthroat Island right now. Which is it's not really like the takeaway because if you've ever seen Cutthroat Island, you probably didn't like it. I kind of enjoy the campiness of it all though. It's kind of goofy and silly. Frank Langella does a nice performance in that. Um, Gina Davis, I don't know, it's there's something that's more fun. This one is a serious tone. Nothing here really worked for me. There wasn't anything that stood out. I also kind of miss Carl Urban when he's not doing the full Butcher voice. Like, and I have to try to find his voice amongst the cast when he's not doing the Butcher anymore. I realized how normal Carl Urban's voice actually is. I was like, oh, that's right. You don't speak that way all the time. Um, so cool for Priyanka to be like the lead in this movie. She gets to kick some ass. I don't know how. I'm sure there's somebody who's gonna be like, well, that's not believable. She's beating up all these guys. That's impossible. It's an impossibility. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure it is. For everybody who has previously not liked when we've had girls fighting and kicking ass in movies before. Now, does anybody remember like Michelle Yeoh in Super Cop? Like, kind of like before her career got kick started. I don't remember a whole bunch of people back in the day going like, this is unrealistic. So, um, that's just been like a more recent thing. I wonder why. I wish I could put my thumb on it. Oh, it's because we needed a villain, so we created woke culture. That's why. But the thing is, even if you gender flip this, even if Bloody Mary was Bloody Mike, I don't think the film is that interesting. It's like a straight like revenge plot, and he's looking for the kid and he wants to know where the kid is, and they're trying to hide his kid Isaiah, one of those two, from not Butcher, from Carl Urban, and try to protect her new husband and kill all the pirates. And she uses a lot of like traps and stuff, so it's not brute force versus brute force. It's not constantly like I punch as hard as you punch, I kick as hard as you kick. It's just to find like creative ways of doing it. So not everybody dies in the same like I'm better at sword fighting than you, or I punch you harder. It's not ridiculous. They balance it out by having her move people through traps. It's not the most like it's not a terrible movie. Like certainly no. Like I've seen a couple movies already this year that I think are worse, even made by Amazon. It's just not an interesting one. It's not a movie that I found myself like driven by, and it seemed to be moving at a quicker pace and then it slows down. Like it really just like it's barreling toward conflict, and it feels like it's going to be high intensity the whole time, and then I kind of felt like the third act like was slowing down to me. I feel like we had a lot of fighting, there was a lot of like bloody, and it was setting the tone for like the relentless sort of almost like a Sisu level of violence. There was one point in the audio description where they disposed of somebody, and it literally the the description that I got was that he was disintegrated, and I was like, how? How do you disintegrate somebody? Like without actual power. When I think of disintegration, I think about like, basically like being turned completely into like dust, like an ash, and you just float away into the wind. So, I mean, blown apart, blown to smithereens, like those kind of things. But I thought disintegrated was such a weird choice, and I was like, I don't know, maybe he was. I'm blind. I don't know. Maybe he was disintegrated, and they have special magical powers, like the pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean did. So, I I just didn't love it, and I can't really recommend it. Like, I think this is exactly the kind of thing like Amazon is doing where they're making films that are like okay and they're like, well, this is fine. We don't need to keep editing this. It's from a director who like I don't know anything Frankie Flowers has ever done before. I'm not that interested in this dude's career. Like to go check out some of his other work and be like, oh, he's the guy who cool. So I'm not engaged. I didn't care enough to follow the characters. I want more things for Tamara Morrison. Like he's been in two crappy Amazon movies this year, so I'm hoping at some point Amazon makes a good movie this year. The last movie I liked was uh Playdate. Because Playdate knows it's dumb. I argue Playdate 100% knows how dumb it is and leans in on it the whole time, which makes it acceptable. Sort of like in a weird where we used to sort of enjoy Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider movies, like those kind of things. Like they know that they're not. Some of those early Adam Sandler movies, they're not trying to like overthink it. They're just very based on like kind of a dumb premise. And sometimes when you have a movie that knows it's dumb and just is trying to sell you on its stupidity, it works. And so Playdate worked on me. But I would never call it like a smart movie. I would just say it was fun to watch and sit through. This isn't. This is too serious. It's super serious. It's trying to be brutal and violent and give Carl Urban and Priyanka Chopra Jonas, both who anchor original series for Amazon, their own, um, you know, movies to like help boost their. Priyanka was just in Heads of State last year. She's doing really well for Amazon. She's in like the Amazon home, so to speak. She's benefiting heavily from the roles that they keep giving to her. And I guess at some point we'll get another season of her show. Carl Urban, obviously, for The Boys. Although I don't know that, with one season left of The Boys, I don't know that they need to keep propagating his life and career. And I can't see, with all that Butcher's been going through The Boys, I can't see there being like a Butcher spinoff to The Boys afterward. Um, maybe that's why they're trying to keep him fresh in everybody's mind, or maybe they're, I don't know, finally going to give us a Dread sequel that we've been wanting for forever. But I think it's just really serve a purpose. So yeah, it's not awful, but it's also just not good. And it's not something that I would say it's these reviews, the closer that you are to like the middle, the harder it is to like go, yeah. But this is a little bit farther. It's a little bit easier rotten. And I did get the audio description, so it is a little bit more definitive. It's not like it can change its way. I did like the audio description. I did laugh when it said disintegrated because I was like, really? They disintegrated him? Are you... is that the word we're going with? Because my mind went to immediately like a cartoon character, just be like there's like nothing in it left. So it felt like maybe a little bit of an overplay of a word, but otherwise, yeah, it's a fine track. It's well mixed and narrated. So I don't have major complaints here, except for the fact it just wasn't as interesting as I wanted it to be. And movies generally don't make me want to watch Cutthroat Island, which I may own on DVD, by the way. Without audio description, of course, but BT dubs. I might actually have that. I'm gonna give The Bluff a 5.1 out of 10. Yeah, it's I think I enjoyed Relationship Goals, which was the last one. I think I enjoyed that a little bit more because the chemistry between Kelly and Method Man was a little bit interesting. That movie, The Hot Mess, with like 1,000 characters, it goes nowhere. But this also kind of has that. So, better scripts, I guess, is what Amazon needs. I don't know what's happening at Amazon, but I would really love to love their original content again. Outside of like their major franchises like The Boys, Gen V, and Fallout. Like, what happened? And I go back to some of the stuff that they've canceled recently, and I just think it's like the audacity for you to cancel some of the shows they had last summer, and then they've been putting out nothing but like this stuff. I just anyway, yeah, like the shows, all um the dance show, what was it called? The ballet show was better. Fucking Motorheads was better. Countdown was better. Like all those three shows were better than pretty much anything they've done from October through February that isn't Fallout. So, thanks, and I'll see you guys on the other side.